From the Alex Trebek stage at Sony Picture Studios, this is Jeopardy! Today's contestants are a museum web and interactive developer from Novato, California, Andrew Fox. A screen printer from New York, New York, Abigail Noy. And our returning champion, a PhD student from New Haven, Connecticut, Matt Amodio, whose 31-day cash winnings total $1,158,001. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Mayim Bialik.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert. Welcome, everyone, to Jeopardy! For those of you keeping track of Matt's stats, with a win today, he would tie James Holzhauer's record of 32 games, the second most consecutive wins in Jeopardy history. Abigail and Andrew, welcome to the game. Let's take a look at the categories. Chapter and verse. Homophones. That animal had a name. Getting sport-y. And, ladies and gentlemen, The Weeknd. Matt, as returning champion, you will pick first.
Chapter and verse 1000.
Byron's pilgrimage of this child noted he was sore sick at heart and from his fellow bacchanals would flee. Andrew.
Who is Harold?
Yes.
I'll take chapter and verse for 800, please.
In a Tennyson poem, this lady is imprisoned in a castle not far from Camelot. Matt.
What's Guinevere?
No. Lady of Shalott. Andrew, you pick again.
Let's do chapter and verse for 600.
Chapter 128 of Moby Dick is This Ship Meets the Rachel. Matt.
What's Pequod?
Yes.
Animal 1000.
Bucephalus carried this man on many of his 4th century BC conquests. Andrew.
Who is Alexander the Great?
That's correct.
Let's do that animal had a name for 800.
Dr. Penny Patterson taught Coco the gorilla this method of communication. Matt.
What's sign language?
Yes, that's correct.
Ladies and gentlemen 1000.
We're big fans of this 1892 Oscar Wilde title character who has some serious mother issues. Matt.
What's Lady Windermere?
Yes.
The Weeknd 1000.
Kick back with a Sunday read of Blood and Treasure, a look at this 18th century Kentucky frontiersman. Matt.
What's Boone?
Daniel Boone, yes, and that puts you in the lead.
Homophones 1000.
There's a daily double. You have 2,600. Andrew is right behind you with 2,000. How much would you like to wager?
2,600, please.
All right, a true daily double. Here is your clue. A sculpted decoration on a wall near the ceiling and the act of keeping prices or wages at a fixed level.
What's freeze?
That's correct. You're up to 5,200. Go ahead.
Sporty 1000.
In the NFL, a defender who makes contact with an opponent before the ball is snapped is guilty of this infraction. What is encroachment? Matt, pick again.
Ladies and gentlemen 800.
The death sentence for treason had been suspended in 1553 for this lady, a teen really, but after Dad rebelled in 54, not so much. Matt.
What's Lady Jane Grey?
Yes.
The Weeknd 8.
Time to put an extra B in a Sunday barbecue. I grill a mean this, the breast section beef cut under the first 5 ribs, and Texas style if you like. Matt.
What's brisket?
That's right.
Sporty 8.
This NHL tough guy will drop the gloves at the drop of a hat. Abigail.
What is an enforcer?
Yes, that's correct.
Homophones 800, please.
A church singing group and an enclosure for horses. Andrew.
What is a corral?
Yes.
Let's do that animal had a name for 600.
Orangey, seen here signing a contract in 1951, later played this very simply named role in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Abigail.
What is cat?
Yes.
I will take Getting Sporty for 600, please.
In Canadian football, it's called the goal area. Matt.
What's end zone?
That's correct. That takes you to 7,400, and it's going to take us to our first commercial break. We'll be back right after this with more Jeopardy! Welcome back. It's time to chat with our contestants, starting with Andrew Fox, student advisor from Novato, California. You and your son, I'm told, recreated a city for an art expo. Which city?
It was the ancient city of Teotihuacan in Mexico. And my son was always, Trevor, he was always bugging me to do a Minecraft project at the museum that I work for, and I finally got approval to do it. So we spent 2 summers, he was interning for me, and we built an archaeologically accurate one-to-one model of Teotihuacan in Minecraft.
The things we do for our kids. Mm-hmm. Abigail Noy, you are a screen printer from New York, New York, and you have a favorite food, and it is nachos. Tell us what you do when you go places.
So I go to a lot of diners, and often they have nachos, and I always forget which diners have the best nachos. And so I have a running list of notes so that if I get to a diner, I can look at it and say, oh, I liked this one. Oh, I didn't like that one.
It's like a spreadsheet of nachos.
It's been very helpful, yeah.
I'd like a copy of that, please. Matt Amodio, you're a doctoral student from New Haven, Connecticut. How far are you into your doctoral studies?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to graduate at the end of this year, and I've done a lot of my foundational research, but now it's time to build it all into a dissertation, so I'm a little scared about that.
And will you be adding Jeopardy to your CV?
It's going to be the whole thing.
All right, let's get back to the game. Matt, you pick.
Ladies and gentlemen, 600.
Gentleman Jim Corbett picked up this sporting title in New Orleans in 1892, but lost it in Nevada 5 years later. Matt.
What's heavyweight champion?
Yes.
The Weekend 6.
On a fall Sunday, you can head to Duval County to check out quarterback and main man Trevor Lawrence, who plays for this NFL team. Abigail.
What are the Lions?
No. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Matt.
Home phone 6.
A sense of style and a sudden solar explosion. Matt.
What's flare?
That's correct.
Animal 4.
Hotfoot Teddy, a cub that survived a fire, was renamed this for a character who promoted fire safety and became his living symbol. Matt.
What's Smokey the bear?
Yes.
Chapter and verse 4.
In Keats' Ode on a Grecian Urn, this is truth, truth this, that is all ye know on earth and all ye need to know. Matt.
What's beauty?
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen 4.
In 1919, Lady Astor became the first woman to take a seat in this body and kept the chair until 1945. Matt.
What's House of Commons?
Yes, that's correct.
The Weekend 4.
A Saturday in the park can be fun for this breed that has a scary rep but is loyal and fearless. Matt.
What's Rottweiler?
No. Abigail.
What is a Doberman?
That is a Doberman, yes.
Homophones for 400, please.
An oracle and a monetary yield. Abigail.
What is a profit?
Correct.
Getting sporty for 400, please.
A double, triple, or homer is this type of hit. Matt.
What's extra base?
Yes.
Chapter and verse 2.
The penultimate chapter in a Nathaniel Hawthorne work is the revelation of this title object. Abigail.
What is the Scarlet Letter?
That's it.
That animal had a name for 200, please.
Launched into space in 1961, Ham was one of these primates. Andrew.
What is a chimp?
Yes.
I'll take ladies and gentlemen for 200, please.
The Eisenhower Institute says Ike was in retirement, an amateur painter and a gentleman, this man of the land. Abigail.
What is a farmer?
Yes, gentleman farmer.
Homophones for 200, please.
An empress's tenure and a downpour. Matt.
What's rain?
Correct.
The Weekend 2.
If you've had a damp autumn, a weekend chore is to clean the leaves out of these areas with a special scoop named for them. Matt.
What's gutters?
Yes. Last clue. A 3 on the par 5 6th hole at Pebble Beach. Abigail.
What is eagle?
That's correct, and that's going to wrap up the Jeopardy round. We will be back right after this with Double Jeopardy. Welcome back. It is time for Double Jeopardy. Abigail, you are in 3rd place, which means you pick first from these categories. Old school selfies. ST for a start. Jack. Historic structures. From book to retitled film. And the geography. Abigail.
I will take from book to retitled film for 1600, please.
This prolific author's A Princess of Mars transported itself to the silver screen as the more masculine John Carter. Abigail.
Who is Edgar Rice Burroughs?
Yes.
From book to retitled film for 2000, please.
Northern Lights is the UK title of Philip Pullman's book. The film used this title more familiar to American readers. Abigail.
What is The Golden Compass?
That's right.
From book to retitled film for 1200, please.
Centered on an evil puzzle box, The Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker scared up this 1987 horror movie, You Pinhead. Matt.
What's Hellraiser?
Correct.
Historic structure, 16.
In the 1960s, Egypt's Abu Simbel temple complex was relocated so it would not be submerged by the creation of this. Matt.
What's Aswan High Dam?
Yes.
Geography, 16.
It's the Daily Double. You have 13,000. How much of that would you like to wager?
7,000, please.
All right, here is the clue. The Sud is an almost impenetrable papyrus swamp from which this river emerges.
What's Nile?
Yes. That's going to take you to 20,000. Pick again.
Historic structure is 12.
Fort William in Calcutta is seen here around the time a small cell inside became infamous under this name. Andrew.
What is the Black Hole of Calcutta?
Yes.
Historic structure 2000.
This expansive fortress in Granada, Spain, contains courtyards with names like the Court of the Sultanas, Cyprus. Matt.
What's Alhambra?
Yes, that's correct.
Historic structures 8.
Built in England in the 2nd century by Romans, it measured some 70 miles and became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. Matt.
What's Hadrian's Wall?
That's correct.
Book 800.
Released in 1961, this live-action Disney film that was remade in 1998 was based on the German novel The Double Lottie. Matt.
What's Parent Trap?
Yes.
Jack, 16.
This titan of comic book art collaborated with Stan Lee to create the Fantastic Four and many more. Matt.
What's Kirby?
Yes, Jack Kirby.
Jack, 12.
Jack, on the left, was the youngest but best known of these siblings who made a lasting mark in Hollywood. Andrew.
Who are the Warner Brothers?
That's correct.
Jack 2000.
Engineer Jack Kilby shared a 2000 Nobel Prize for helping to invent the integrated this. Matt.
What's Circuit?
Yes.
Start, 16.
Frankfurt's Bursa, for one. What is a stock exchange? Matt.
Start, 12.
This section once held the cheapest accommodations on passenger ships. Matt.
What's Steerage?
Yes.
Start, 2000.
This adjective means dark and hellish, like a journey to Hades. Matt.
What's Stark?
No. Andrew.
What is Stygian?
That's correct. That takes you into 2nd place. Pick again.
Old school selfies for 1600.
This great Spaniard needed just oil and canvas to snap a selfie 17th century style. Andrew.
Who is Velasquez?
Yes, Diego Velázquez.
Old school selfies 1200.
But of course, this post-impressionist posed in a beret for an 1890s selfie. Matt.
What's Cezanne?
Yes, that's right.
Selfies, 2000.
Elongated figures are characteristic of works by this Italian painter, who depicted himself that way, as seen here. Matt.
What's Modigliani?
Correct.
Jack, 800.
At age 60, fitness pioneer Jack LaLanne swam handcuffed to Fisherman's Wharf from this San Francisco Bay island, towing a boat behind him. Matt.
What's Alcatraz?
Yes.
Selfies, 8.
You got the Daily Double, and it's a video. What do you want to wager?
3,000, please.
Here's the clue. After returning to Paris in the 1890s, he took a selfie in his Polynesian-themed studio.
What's Gauguin?
Yes, Paul Gauguin. That puts you at 33,400. Pick again.
Geography, 2000, please.
Until 1957, what is today this West African country was known as the Gold Coast. Matt.
What's Ghana?
Yes.
Geography, 12.
The Levant is a Mediterranean region that includes this nation and its ports of Tyre and Sidon. Matt.
What's Lebanon?
That's right.
Geography 8.
The name of this fashionable coastal European resort area is from the Italian for shore. Matt.
What's Riviera?
Yes.
Start 8.
It starts about 6 miles up from the ground. Abigail.
What is the stratosphere?
That's correct.
Book to retitled film for 400, please.
The movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was based on a novel with this other character in the title. Abigail.
Who's Charlie?
Yes.
The geography 400, please.
Found between Austria and Italy, Tyrol is a region in these mountains. Matt.
What's Alps?
Yes.
Historic structures 4.
Opened in 1883, the Russian State Historical Museum sits on this square. Matt.
What's Red Square?
That's it.
Selfies 4.
Philippe Laurent Roland did things the hard way, taking a 1780s selfie in this rock. Matt.
What's Marble?
Yes.
Start 4.
Caffeine is one of these pick-me-up substances. Matt.
What's Stimulant?
That's correct. This is the last clue. Jean-Louis was the original first name of this Beat Generation writer. Matt.
What's Kerouac?
Yes, Jack Kerouac. His real name was Jean-Louis. And that will take us into Final Jeopardy. The category is children's literature. Make your wagers, and we will be back with a clue after this.
Desired is central to consumer cellular plans. What is flexibility? Consumer Cellular, low rates and award-winning service are just the beginning.
It is time for Final Jeopardy. The category is children's literature. Here's the clue. A 2000 Library of Congress exhibit called this 1900 work America's greatest and best-loved homegrown fairy tale. You have 30 seconds. Good luck. Abigail Noy, you have $7,000. What was your response? What is Shrek? Unfortunately, that is not correct. What's that going to cost you? $2,001. That leaves you with $4,999. Andrew Fox with $9,000. What was your response? What is The Wizard of Oz? That is correct. L. Frank Baum's modern fairy tale, which has a distinctly American set in Kansas. How much are we going to add to your score? $1,000. That puts you at $10,000. Let's go over to our champ, Matt Amodio, who has not missed a final all week. Did you come up with Wizard of Oz? Yes, you did. And your wager? $15,000. Wow. With $54,400, you are our Jeopardy champion again with a 32-day total of $1,212,401. You are now tied with James Holzhauer for second most consecutive wins on Jeopardy. Congratulations. Will he break that tie tomorrow? We'll see you then.
Promotional consideration provided by Consumer Cellular.